Hello, everybody, and welcome to Magical Kitties Save the Day. Starring me. How you doing, chat? I'm not even kidding. It is just literally starring me. There are some other people in it, but don't worry about it.
Nobody else.
About him.
Nobody else important.
I'm kidding. We have Domestic Dan. Oh, I get it. We have Domestic Dan. And we have Saggy herself. Fresh from Saturn. I made a promise before this started that I would refer to Sagittarius only as Saggy. We also got Pumpkinberry and Peachy, but you know, whatever.
Who cares?
Welcome to the stream, everybody. It is part 3 and the finale of Magical Kitties Save the Day. Our 3-part adventure using the Magical Kitties Save the Day dice system, tabletop system. Why can't I speak? I swear to God. There's something wrong with my tongue or brain.
Or both?
Or both, yeah.
They just hate each other. And they refuse to work together.
Yeah, they're like fighting.
The worst thing I could ever be is a
Ride of the
GM.
Valkyries as you try to formulate sentences.
Oh, that's all it is. They're just warring with each other. I don't know why I GM.
Because you're good at it.
Imagine if I could speak.
I know.
You'd be even better.
I would become more
You'd be like unstoppable. Unstoppable.
Than you could ever imagine. Anyway, here we are once again. Magical Kitties Save the Day. This is an actual system called Magical Kitties Save the Day. It is by Atlas Games. They also create Unknown Armies, which is what Dan and PB play on a Wednesday, which is a terrifying, horrible experience because it's like it's a horror-based system. Yeah. This is not the same system. It doesn't use the same stuff. This is
completely the opposite. It is magical
opposite.
cats.
It's magical cats. It's a very simple and easy to use system. And it is it's currently in Kickstarter, and you can check it out. Where can I check it out, PB?
There's a link right there, tablestory.tv/magicalkitties.
Bam! And if you are watching on VODs or even listening, then links are available in the varying descriptions that exist near your eyes.
And if you're listening on the podcast, tablestory.tv/magicalkitties. Go now.
There you go.
We're good.
And we're gonna jump into it.
Yes.
Soon enough. I had to make another character.
He's going for coffee. He's going for coffee.
Oh god, he's got to drink coffee for his cone. I know it's kind of sacrilege, but have you considered just a straw for today?
It was suggested, and it is sacrilege. So it's gonna be a hard no.
Yeah.
Hard no.
Right.
Struggle through the pain.
All right. Yeah. Just enjoy the trip to A&E.
As he pours it all down.
Enjoy the trip to A&E then. But don't say we didn't suggest a straw. You're going to be in A&E, and the nurse is going to be like, "Why didn't you just drink it through a straw?"
No, the nurse is going to be like, "I'm sorry, you were wearing a what?"
No,
It's not
the
a
nurse.
sex thing. It's not a sex thing.
No. The nurse is going to immediately be saying, "What's that? Oh, look, he's dressed like a cat. He must have been playing Magical Kitties Save the Day from Atlas Games, which you can check out in the Kickstarter while they're like tending to his owies that he's got going on. Owies are what are used in the game. So, before we begin, we do need to hand out 2 characters, which I made in literally 1 minute each. The characters can be very in-depth if you want them to be. I chose for relatively in-depth, and it was extremely easy to do. So I made 2 characters. I made one last week or the week before or whenever, and then I needed another one all of a sudden. I made it 5 minutes ago.
Nice.
While we were all discussing things, and you guys had no idea. That's how easy it is to make a character in Magical Kitties Save the Day. So it's perfect if you have a low IQ like Peachy Pixel 8, or children like Peachy Pixel 8.
I have a very high IQ of 63, thank you.
Wow.
That's extremely. That is genuinely really high compared to my 6.
Savage attack.
It's just that I was being nice to him earlier on, and he was saying to me, "What is this? You can do better."
Oh, wow.
So now I'm going to spend 3 hours relentlessly attacking him. With the enemies provided in the Magical Kitties Save the Day special finale.
That was actually pretty good.
I like that. Yeah.
Since this is Dan and Saji's first,
It's pronounced Sagi.
I will never do it.
What
Never.
was the other name? Saj, what was the other name that Brad couldn't say?
Oh, Grumpatari.
Grumpatari.
Grumpatari?
That's the
It's
other
just when I
name.
don't have my coffee. Sometimes I just get a little.
I cannot imagine you as grumpy. I can't.
No, I say like very sassy things sometimes without my coffee.
I need to see this.
But it's like sassy with a smile. It's like kind of mean.
So not grumpy at all. All right.
Yeah. I tried. Yes.
Do you want me to read the kitty rules real quick?
Sassatari. Maybe. All right. Wait,
Maybe.
what? You want to read them? All right. Yeah, sure. Go on then.
Yeah,
Read the kitty
'cause-
rules. Why not? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You must keep your magic hidden from humans.
Correct.
You pick your humans even when it seems like the humans pick their kitties. You want to help your human. You can understand humans, but they cannot understand you. You can understand other animals, and they can understand you. You can read human writing, but it's very difficult, and sometimes you get it wrong. You have a special spot in your home that humans cannot reach, and it allows you to get in and out of your home without being seen. And again, you must keep your magic hidden from humans.
Very important that you
Yes.
follow those rules. If you don't follow those rules,
We will never invite you back, and then we'll kill your character, Dan.
oh damn!
I'm kidding.
That's-
I'm kidding.
Very
I was gonna
sad.
say Peachy Pixelate
It
will
happens every show I'm on.
show
So
up in your house or something, you know. But all right. Well, let's first of all
wow.
let's roll some dice. Since Sagi has never been here before, Domestic Dan you've probably seen on honestly too many shows at this point.
Never.
really, yeah.
Dan's amazing.
Well, let's debate that later on because we've got dice to roll first. All right. Look at Peewee. She takes everything I say like it's real. It's so weird. We've known each other for so long now. She's like, what?
Savage.
How can he say that? That's crazy talk. I'm like, Peewee, why does anyone listen? Right. First of all, no
Wait, was
one
that an
ever.
American
If you
accent?
don't know
Just-
who I am, don't ever trust anything I say. Saggy. We also go way back. Me and Saggy have been friends for 5 years now, something like that. I
Yeah,
think-
yeah.
She's getting there. She's thrown so into the deep end of just exposure to the radioactivity that is me.
See, the thing is, you can tell if someone's been Brad's friend for a couple of years because they got that cold stare. Done.
You're so done. Roll me a d2. This is to decide which character you get.
Oh,
Do it. I believe in you.
oh.
A 1.
Starting on a 1.
I'll take whatever
You
one she doesn't
actually
get.
managed to get. Yeah, you do get that. It's precisely how it goes. You actually got the one which I wrote. I actually wrote Saggy on the character sheet, but you can name your character whatever you want. Take a look at it. I will explain how the rule system works. I'm sure you'll pick it up, but I'll explain it as well in a minute. But I'll give you the character so you can look at the thing. Each character has a magical power, 2 talents, and a flaw. You also have a human, and this is your one. It's called Saggy, but you tell me the name of your character in a minute, and I will. I think I showed it to everyone by accident, but it doesn't matter at this point.
It's empty.
Yeah. Oh God. Hold on. Then. What have I done?
I am no one.
Oh, I know
I
why.
just shown it to her, but not shared it with her.
Oh, I know why. I shared it with Amelia T. For some reason.
That's an issue.
Millie T.
Yeah,
That's
there
her
you
Instagram.
Go. There you go. Because your names are next to each other in the drop down. I think I clicked it wrong. Which means this one belongs to Mr. Fairclaws. Is that you, Dan?
Like Mr. Fairchild.
Is that you, Dan? There you go. All right, well, I can change that one. You give me a name as well, Saggy, for your cat. And these are your characters. So while they're looking at their character sheets, I'll kind of vaguely explain to you guys kind of how this works. I can't show a character sheet. We've kind of hacked together one for Roll20. But on your character sheet that you might find at home, you have 3 labels: cute, cunning, and fierce. Essentially, cute, cunning, and fierce is everything that you can roll to do with. If you want to kind of cutesy, like, I'm gonna cutesy my way through this problem by, like, you know, making the enemy, you know, fall in love with me, and be like, oh, this cat is so adorable, and then they let their guard down or whatever. Kind of like a persuasion type roll. You can roll with cute. Cunning is, I feel like, intellect. I also kind of use it like speed, because I think you can realistically use it, I think, for like dexterity or be like cunningly quick. But in general, you can also argue with me about like what you think it should be, the role. If I tell you it's one thing, you can argue for another. Then you'll roll cunning for usually intelligence-based things or trying to, you know, outwit your enemy. And then fierce is how kind of strong you are, how big and tough you are. Usually physical-based things. Yep, just like that. And that's what you'll roll for that. You also have a magical power, 2 talents and flaws, like I said. If you roll a dice with a magical power, you will be able to add 2d6. All of the dice you roll are d6s, but you can't really see that on the sheet, but that's essentially what it is. You can add 2d6 if you roll with magical power. You can add a d6 if you're using a talent. And if you have a flaw that you feel like would be necessary or applied to the role or the situation, then you roll with a minus d6. So please do let me know, because I can't remember everything that's on your sheets.
Okay.
The way that the actual thing works, by the way, people, is when you hit like roll with cute, it gives you an input value thing, and it says difficulty and then however many dice you can add to it afterwards. I can't remember what the word is. When I say to you like, oh, roll a cunning check. Let's just do a test one. Everyone roll a cunning check, put difficulty 4, and add no extra dice to it. In fact, no, add 1 extra dice so you know. So you can just put a 1 in the second value. And they should all roll, because we need to check this, because sometimes it doesn't work. Mr. Fairclaws rolled 1. Did you all do it?
Did you need us to do it, even though we've done it before? Or you just mean that...
Wow. All right, never mind. PB Sass in the chat.
What?
No, I get it. No, I understand how it is, PB. We've been friends for a long time. I see through you. Yeah, okay. There you go. No, I don't need you to roll it, okay, PB? You can dial back the attitude. The catitude?
I did like that. That was good.
Okay, so you guys, you've worked out how the sheet works in Roll20.
Yes.
On there it says you have the different successes that you've got going on. Mr. Fairclaw's got a success, but Sagittarius, did you have a cat name?
Scout.
Scout.
You.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay. Change your drop at the bottom. It says as underneath the box where you type stuff in or roll in. If you change that to what you're rolling as, I will maybe have a fighting chance of remembering what everyone's names are, because my memory works very well. So when you roll a dice, you can either roll. You'll get the result, and the result will be failure, success, but success, and a super success. I'm sure you can intuit what they do, but I'll tell you anyway. Failure, you don't do it. Success, but you do it, but something bad happens. Success, you do it just like you hoped. Success, and you do it and you get a bonus. And a super success is that you do it way better than anybody thought possible. You also have kitty treats. Kitty treats do some weird things. We've been letting them do whatever you want them to do up to now, but technically they do have things that they can do. In the journal, you'll see that there are different things. I've given some handouts so you can see what they do. But kitty treats, essentially, you can re-roll any or all dice in the pool for a single check, avoid taking an injury, use a bonus feature that you do not possess for one of your powers, so you can kind of go beyond, and or you can add something to the story beyond the kitty's control, so you can kind of take control of the narrative to a degree. Don't go crazy.
Or do.
Yeah.
Or do.
So, you have an owie limit of 2, by the way. So even though on the thing there it says 5, if you get 2 owies, let me know, because it actually transforms into an injury. And we haven't really gone through this before, and I feel like I probably should. Owies.
Why? Are you going to ruin our lives in this one?
No, it's just something like, I feel like if I dump too much information at the beginning of every session, it's just going to blow everyone's mind. So once I finish going through owies and injuries, I've ticked off every box and we've spoken about everything that is available to you in Magical Kitties Save the Day from Atlas Games, available on Kickstarter right now.
We've been friends for a long time, Brad. I think you're going to destroy our lives.
It's
You're
the finale.
telling us about the injuries because...
It's
all
the
right,
finale.
I'm ready. Yeah,
It's going to be
fair enough.
really difficult. We'll see. I don't know. But I'll tell you anyway, because we also just haven't really dealt with it. Owies are little injuries that you might take. Your owie limit, each of you, is 2. Once you take 2 owies, you will get an injury. An injury means that you have a 1 die penalty based on
That's right.
how many injuries you have. You have 1 injury, everything you roll is with a minus d6. Incapacitation. If a kitty has a number of injuries equal to their highest attribute score, they are incapacitated. That means you're KO. And you can be recovered with varying different things. At one point we had a healer. I can't remember who that was. Was that Amelia? Someone was a healer at one point. They had like the healing magic power. You don't have that anymore. So, in order to be recovered, essentially you just have to get through the end of the scene, which is kind of like the combat, and you will recover 1 injury. Also, you can use the kitty treats to avoid taking an injury in the first place. So bear that in mind.
Okay.
That is all the rules ever
Yes.
that you can find available to you now. When you back the Kickstarter and start playing Magical Kitties Save the Day from Atlas Games at home with your family. You're laughing about something. I don't know what's happened. I'm terrified. Okay, it's not me. All right. I get scared then. I get scared that I had done something because I looked over there and I was like, what did I click? Nothing. All right, good. So we have 2 new cats today. Before we jump into the game, let's see what Mr. Fairclaws has got going on. Last week and the week before, I think we spoke through like kind of what our cats are and what they can do and who their human is before we jumped into the game. So why don't you introduce yourself, Mr. Fairclaws, to the viewers? What do you look like and stuff, and what's on your sheet?
I am a black barn cat, like one of those big burly, loud but also stupid friendly cats. Probably a little Maine Coon mixed in there for the size. But I took over powers as well, and then human. Okay, yeah, just making sure. I have the power of telekinesis. This
Kyle,
while
sorry.
also protects me, helps amplify my power forward. I'm a daredevil, take risks. Probably how I got this. I wouldn't worry about that too much. And a great sense of hearing. Again, amplification. This has so many uses. Very helpful. I like food a lot. Like way too much. And I'm a little too imaginative. And my human is Noodle Leaf. He's a sickly young man of 14, long blonde hair that reaches down to the floor when sitting down. He likes to play the MMOs all the time in his room. That's really all he does. His problem, of course, is that he's very weak and gets sickly very, very easily.
That's correct. It is our mod, Noodle Leaf. Noodle Leaf also lives in my house, so if someone comes running in here and attacks me during this stream, we know who it is.
Long
With a long blonde
glowing
hair. Luckily, he's very weak, so it will just be like, you know, like when Mr. Burns attacks
Like
people.
someone
and
throwing
it's
paper at you.
Yeah. It's the best he can lift.
We love our mods.
Well, Saggy, you want to introduce your cat? What's going on? What are we looking
Yeah,
at?
so I'm Scout. I'm super speedy. That's my magical power. I zip back and forth, and I usually help out my friends and get them out of a tough spot. I'm also super sneaky. I kind of dart in the night, and I use my cat claws. I'm a tortoiseshell cat, or not tortoiseshell. That's a pattern, but a tortie. So I'm black with random patches of orange. So I try to be sneaky, but sometimes you see my orange. And anything sad makes me cry uncontrollably. I'm really emotional, and so I really just life gets really sad sometimes, and you gotta just let it out. And my human is it's a Wax Steven. He's over 100 years old. Very intimidating. No one knows exactly how old he is, but he's always grumpy. So I have to sneak about the house to kind of avoid getting in trouble. And he grumbles all the time, and he's always rolling magical orange dice and drinking water. I like to think the orange is because my coat has some orange in it. But yeah, that's
Wax Steven, an incredibly old, grumpy man.
I love her.
So those are our two new additions here. As a little refresher, the first session saw Percival and Mrs. Princess Snuggles. That's your name. I'll get it at the end of today's session, and then that'll be it. Princess Snuggles and Percival, as well as two other cats, deal with a huge mecha dog that attacked the town that you all live in, Tablesville. The mecha dog was defeated and powered down, and then out of it jumped another dog, a little horrible looking dog who looked a lot like this exact dog on my shirt. And he ran away. And you guys then went and dealt with a witch. Then a little while later, the few of you, there was all this magical anomalies that have been going on around town. Basically, there have been lots of strange reports of other magical kitties losing their powers or disappearing, having their powers disappear and things like that. Then it kind of got a little worse. People's powers were changing and shifting, vanishing. In some cases, people's humans went missing, and slowly but surely, you guys kind of caught on to it. And this is all cats. You guys would be generally aware, I think, of what all the other magical kitties in town are doing. So newcomers, you're kind of generally aware of what's been going on. The group last week, including Percival and Princess Snuggles again, with two other cats, went to investigate some of these magical little anomalies. You went to see Blan, the squirrel, and he told you that he knew where the dog had gone, to this old ironworks, this abandoned factory on the edge of town. You went there, you ended up fighting with Super Chihuahua, and then you went down into the actual factory itself. As you got down there, a rocket lifted off with this evil dog inside, when a Great Dane called Dane the Great, a magician, attacked you. You dealt with him, and at the end of it, there was a trail of smoke and rocket leaving. You managed to grab a flux capacitor, and then you went to see Old Man Cugio. Old Man Cugio, who lives in a giant mechanical boot, actually activated the flux capacitor, which was a time machine. The entire boot took all of the kitties and Old Man Cugio to the year 3777, and that was the end of the session. Guess what part I made up on the spot? Right, so today
It was Cugio.
it was Old Man Cugio.
Yeah. I
Today
wouldn't have known. Why'd you tell me that?
we start with a little shot of a nefarious young pup. He's actually an old man. He's an old puppy, and he's disgusting looking. He's black fur, kind of got this...
Is he nearby? I think we need a visual.
What, of this disgusting dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gross.
Agreed.
He's got like wiry black hair, bits of white in it. He's missing a few teeth on the front of his face, and he looks like an overgrown rat. Something that crawled out of the sewer or your darkest nightmare.
Wait, is that him on your shirt?
This is him on my shirt. If you want to see
Yeah, I think I need a better visual for this so I can
Such,
imagine.
yeah, we
I've got an
absolutely need a
overactive
better visual.
imagination. I need to.
So
This is your
How terrible.
villain. This is your villain for the day.
Oh, he can win.
Yes, I can definitely see the sewer rat in
He
there.
is part rat, part shadow, part demon, and part dog. And if he will let me, do you want to see his missing teeth? You ready?
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, buddy.
Oh, baby.
Oh, his little teeth were all taken out in a recent vet visit. Off you go. He's pure evil. He is. He torments me psychologically. And I'm not kidding, in real life. And that's why we all praise him and we keep shirts with him on it and we don't say that he's evil. All right. So, this dog, who looks suspiciously like that dog, what is currently... He's so heavy now. Actually, I get tired picking him up.
Wow, who's weak? You or Noodle? Good God.
Oh, you don't understand. He's so old and dense. His little...
That's how aging works.
he's got that like old man denseness going on to his
Dead
His
Star.
own gravitational field.
little round dense body. So we all see a little as the audience see a sort of a movie shot of this dog, this evil looking dog. He's wearing a lab coat, which is a coat made entirely of small little Labrador fur, you know, the hair. Get it? Never mind. Dog jokes. It's a kitty show. Never mind. He's sat in the chair of a giant ray gun, which is pointed directly at the earth. And the evil maniacal scientist Merlin the dog says,
Now, my anti-magic ray gun is almost ready. Soon there will be no magical kitties, and soon after that, no more kitties at all.
and back on Earth though, while almost the plans of whatever his name is, Merlin, is that his name, come to fruition, we probably join... I would imagine we probably join Scout and Mr. Fairlight Excalibur? Mr. Fairclaws. The two of you are hanging out, probably at old man Wax Stevens' house. Crazy old, grumbly old Wax Steven with his grotesque face and you know, just terrible attitude, frankly. But he is over 100 years old and he has an okay apartment. I know for a fact that Wax Steven is streaming right now, so I can get away with all of this. And
You rated earlier.
Oh no. That's the end of the stream, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Old man Wax Steven is probably knocking around in the background, like grumbling and mumbling. You can see him like going back and forth in his apartment. Every now and then he does something that angers him beyond belief, and he drinks an entire pint of water. And then he goes and grumbles and knocks about and does something else. What do you think you two are doing?
Ooh.
I would say we're probably sneaking around the house, trying to, you know, discover new little secrets that he has hidden.
Oh, yeah, nice. All right, give me cunning rolls, both of you, at a
Oh,
difficulty of 2.
I am so not cunning. This is going to be great.
Yeah, clearly.
Difficulty of 2?
Yeah.
You got this.
If you have any, remember, if you're using a superpower or you're using one of your talents, then you can add. If it's a superpower you're using, you add a 2 to the next tab, 2 plus 2 d6. If you're using a talent, you get a +1. If you have a flaw that you think might hinder what you're trying to do, you just have to honestly, you know, put a -1 in there. Success but and a success and. Oh wait, no, just a success and a success but. So it was correct. I just missed it because I read it the wrong way around. For sure you guys are like knocking around this apartment. Scout, you find like a little cupboard that you're not used to seeing open, and you like maybe bat it open a little bit, but it doesn't open all the way. Mr. Fairclaws, I think, since you said you're quite strong and big, maybe you help to open this cupboard. You guys managed to open it up, and inside is Wank Stevens' special stash. There's all sorts of things in here. Strange looking edible things.
Food.
It looks like food, but it's
I
wrapped.
begin to eat it.
It's wrapped weirdly.
I'd like to eat it.
Yeah? You both get +1 kitty treat.
Perfect.
However, the other thing you are eating is catnip. And so now you are like a little bit woozy. You feel a little wild. There are some colors that you've never seen before. And I can't remember what colors cats can see. But now there are new ones like blue and red. So, did you eat any Scout?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? All right. For the entire thing,
Oh yeah.
the entire
Yeah,
session here, you
Make
will
it sound like good.
you will have catnip power,
Catnip power.
which might do stuff and might not, and we'll find
No.
out.
Is that like Captain Planet?
No,
No.
how dare
okay.
you?
Okay.
Earth, wind, water, catnip.
Yeah, exactly.
With our powers combined, we can roll around the floor a lot.
So I think you guys are vaguely aware of the goings on around town. I don't think probably you've been directly affected by it, but 2 weeks ago there was an attack on Tablesville by a giant mecha dog. You heard that some of the other kitties kind of went looking into it, and then they all vanished suddenly. It was Percival, Princess Snuggles, and 2 others that I can't remember what they were called. Classy Kitty and Sergeant Meowmers
Yeah.
looked into this thing, and they vanished. However, it is precisely at this moment that all of a sudden there is a shift, an electrical static noise starts to kick up as you're like tearing into these random bags of catnip and eating them. Way too much of it. So much so that it will surely affect you at the precise wrong or right moment, depending on how the narrative goes in this improv game. Suddenly there is an electrical static noise. Your fur stands up on end. And at the exact same time, the exact portal from Terminator 2 Judgment Day, directed by James Cameron, appears in front of you.
But not exactly like that.
No, it's exact. This time. Because I'm changing the meme immediately from the previous meme that wasn't even in this show. You have to watch every show on Tablestory to really understand what the hell is going on half the time. And that's why you should always subscribe with your Twitch Prime. The exact portal thing from Terminator 2 Judgment Day, directed by James Cameron, suddenly appears in front of you. It does that thing where it kind of like burns a perfect sphere in the ground just next to you. Percival and Mrs. Snuggles, what's your name? Princess Snuggles.
That's right.
Appear from it.
You'll get it. It's only been 2 episodes, but you know.
Percival. We did a whole D&D campaign. I can't remember your name from that character from that one. All right. Percival has an eye patch now. He also has a little katana on his back. Get it? Katana on his back. But it's not a real one. It's like one of those soft toys like a human would clearly put on them to make them look cool, and it like straps at the bottom.
Exactly.
Yeah. Princess Snuggles has a scar down one eye and a ripped ear now. And they look exactly like that cliche of when someone goes to the future and comes back and they do the Hiro Nakamura I am from the future moment. The portal closes and the 2 of them step out. What do you do?
Did it work?
This is some strong catnip.
That's right.
I don't know what I'm seeing.
You
What year is it?
You two step out, and you see the forms of Scout and Fairlight Excalibur laying there looking at you, confused and wide-eyed, like they have crazy alitis a little bit. The future that you came from is several years from now. Not much has changed, but they live underwater. Also, there are no magical kitties. In fact, there is no magic at all. In fact, there are no kitties at all. Just puppies and dogs everywhere. And you know that this happened because today, in this year, in this timeline, in this world, a massive anti-magic ray gun on the moon was activated that removes all magic from the world, allowing the bigger and more powerful but smellier and dumber dogs to overtake. You are the magical kitties and you are here to save the day. But can you save the day? Let's find out by playing Magical Kitties Save the Day from Atlas Games. So you step out, you say, what year is it? And what does everyone else do? I'm going to play this music and it's not going to fit the scene.
What year is it?
What year is it, Brad?
The year what?
2019, I guess. It's current day. It's today. It's the 3rd of August
August.
2019.
What is today?
It's August 3rd, 2019.
Don't you play with me. I'm gonna rush up to him and grab him by his by the scruff.
Yeah.
Just pull him real close.
I mean,
really
I can
now.
play with you if I want.
It's cold. Really quiet. Okay. I think we did it, Princess.
Yeah,
I think we're back.
it happens
Holly
today,
came down
right?
for nothing.
It happens today.
What? We found Catnip? Is that what happened?
Yeah, are you guys, you're real? This isn't the catnip?
Oh, I'm real. Catnip makes me woozy. I'll pass, thanks though.
I'll never catnip again.
Never,
No?
Never.
Like,
Oh.
never.
It's legal now.
yeah. So,
Look, we
Wait, why
need your
are you
help.
here?
Things we've seen. Okay. We can't. I'll never go back.
what's happening? Where did you guys come from?
I don't
The
understand.
future.
That seems a bit cliche, doesn't it?
We came back from the year 3777. No cats exist, only dogs. Because today, on this day, the one dog to rule them all made it happen. And we need to stop him.
That sounds like a horrible future.
It is.
What's happening? What is your face doing?
It makes me really sad.
She's leaking.
Yeah, she leaks when she has too much catnip.
I just get really sad thinking about no cats and no magic.
You seem really sad. She seems extremely sad. So do you guys from the future have a plan? Did you come back with a plan? Or
No.
no? All right. Well, everyone.
Okay, but you're saying that he fires a big laser or something, right? A
You
big
know
cannon?
that this was caused, and it was today, the
Yeah.
3rd of August 2019, that a massive anti-magic ray gun on the moon was activated that removes all magic from the world.
Okay, but it's on the moon, right?
That's correct. It's on the moon.
Okay. I think we have to get to NASA.
What's NASA?
NASA is the key to everything.
I have no idea, but it was on the side of the rocket.
Are we in Florida? Is that why it's terrible here?
Don't know. What is Florida?
I think it's this floor.
Then yeah, we're right here.
All right,
And
perfect.
yes, this
Tablesville,
must
Florida.
be Florida.
Yeah. Everyone give me a cunning check with a difficulty of 1 in order to progress the story. in any way.
Is this to do with what the evil guy's doing? Because I have history and I know a lot about the past.
It is not to do with what the evil guy is doing. Success, 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 success. All right, all of you are aware of Space Cat, of course. Space Cat. Everyone knows about Space Cat. Even on a failure, you would have known about Space Cat because he's a genius cat who likes to go to space in his rockets. Surely he can get you to the moon in time.
We need to find Space Cat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Immediately.
I've heard about him. Where
Where is she?
she?
Take us to Space Cat.
All right.
We don't have time.
I never leave this house. I don't. Where would he be?
This is a she
Listen,
now.
millions of kitties are going to die if we don't find Space Cat.
Okay.
We will. I can't.
Well, Space Cat is found at the
Coast to coast.
Kennedy Space Center in Florida, just outside of Tablesville. If you just step one step outside of Tablesville, you're in Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
The surrounding urban areas.
The surrounding area is obviously all Kennedy Space Center. Assuming you
Makes
all,
perfect sense.
would you like to all sneak out
Yes.
and head?
But
Okay.
Be careful of my human, Mr. Wax Steven. He'll get real angry at you if he sees us leaving. He's very grumpy.
I don't think anything can top where we're from.
I don't know. He's pretty scary.
In the year 3777, Wax Steven is an amorphous blob that controls the southern hemisphere of the world, with tyrannical fear.
Couldn't be that same Wax Steven, could
Can't
it?
be, can it? No.
So? No.
Faction.
You guys all sneak out of the cat flap. As you guys all start heading down the street and out of Tablesville directly towards the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, there is like a shout from behind you. Oh, what is this? There's some sort of perfect sphere that's been made like that sphere from Terminator 2 and 1 and all the other ones, says Wax
The one
Steven,
directed by James Cameron.
as he gets angry at the hole in the ground of his apartment. You probably hear some glugs as he drinks 2 or 3 pints of water.
Does it help?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Got an issue. You guys start heading down the main street of Tablesville. As you step one paw outside of Tablesville, you find yourselves in the area known as the Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
Wow.
We're here.
This is convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right here. It's really nice.
Kennedy. What does that? What? I can't read that. What does that say?
Catnady.
Catnady.
It's the Canadian Space Center.
Canadian Space Center.
I
I
think.
didn't know we were Canadian.
Me either.
They have syrup.
There's a giant human rocket kind of idling by. A human one, not a good one like the cats would make, but like a lame human one.
Oh, okay.
In a distance, you can see that like the humans are gearing up to launch a rocket, but you don't want that one. You're looking for Space Cat. Everyone, give me another set of cunning checks on a difficulty of 3, because Space Cat has to hide her rockets, because originally it was a he.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do
canon.
the Batman thing, okay?
Where is she?
We
And
had
then
the
you,
voice and
and now
everything.
you've canonized the fact that Space Cat is female. That's fine. What are we doing here? Hold on. Here we go. All right. So Percival got a success. Scout got a success. Princess Snuggles got a success. And Mr. Fairclaws, is that yours as well? Yes, I got a success. But
Pretty smart.
yeah, I think you all know where to go. Everyone knows where Space Cat is. You guys head towards where the Canadian Space Center is, and then instead of doing a left, obviously you do a right. And then behind the trash cans of the Canadian Space Center, down a little alleyway, do a left. There it is. Space Cat's house.
This
Next
is it.
next to Space Cat's house is like a lean-to rocket. It looks kind of ready, but it's kind of leaning against the building. Space Cat lives in like an amalgamation of varying boxes and human trash, giant, you know, those big double-sized corporate-looking trash cans that are, I don't know, what are they called in American? Bins. Dumpsters. Space Cat lives in like 7 dumpsters. I have to translate everything into American, and I'm from England, and it's hard.
We don't have dumpsters here.
If I say big green bins, you'd be like,
The green
Makes sense.
why would he live in beans? Would the Americans would say.
Get near your father.
Space Cat is working on this rocket. She's wearing like a yellow like jumpsuit thing, but it's covered in oil stains. She's got like ginger fur and it's all kind of fuzzy and wild. And she has like goggles over her head. And she's welding a piece of like metal to the side of this very ramshackle looking rocket that's leaning a little oddly to one side. She has 4 spacesuits stood next to, like hanging up next to the little rocket. And as you approach, she stops welding and then turns around and says, "Oh, hey, nice to see yous. What can I do for you? My name's Space Cat." And she takes the goggles off and gives you a little salute.
Are there any laser ninjas around?
Laser ninjas, no.
Can we talk?
Yes, you're talking right now.
There's no laser ninjas. Okay.
What's a laser ninja? Is that like that
We need to get
big?
to the moon.
What?
We need to get to the moon.
Why you just want to go to the moon? There's nothing there. I've been.
Save the world.
What?
Trust us.
Give me a cute check on difficulty space 1. 1. Space Cat's very friendly and easily manipulated with cuteness. Success.
See what you're doing, Brad. By the way,
What am I doing?
is that a success? Yes, it's a success. And
Why did you roll it twice? Oh, that's a cunning.
what? Cute is just a success. I don't know why it rolled a cunning as well.
What is happening?
I don't know.
I see what you're doing.
It's a success.
He lied. She says, "Ari,
She's
yeah.
lying.
Well, you're lucky." There it is. "You're lucky. I just finished working on this here rocket." And this thing, like next to you, goes, and a bolt launches off of it. Ding, 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 ding. She says, "Aye, that'll get you to the moon. That's the best rocket I've ever made."
Have you made other rockets?
"Oh, aye. I've been to all 17 planets."
There are 17 planets.
"Aye."
Which one has catnip?
You got catnip?
Do we have any left over? Or did I eat it all?
I'll have a bit of catnip. I've finished work and I'm not using heavy machinery now, so I'll take a bit. Always catnip responsibly. She eats the furball.
Oh!
Yeah.
There's some catnip
Space
in
Cat
that.
and they're like Excalibur Cat go way back. She just eats it up. And I think for about maybe 10 minutes you all just clean yourselves and just ignore everything going on around you for a while.
What?
And then what do you want to do?
I want to get in the rocket.
All right, then
How
you
does
get
it
in the
go?
rocket. She says, "Hey, you need to put on a spacesuit, or else she's not going to be able to breathe in space."
Is that a cat costume?
Aye. Why, it's a cat costume. I got it from the Canadian Space Centre over there.
I'll take the orange one.
Alright, they're all orange. Actually, for those of you that are on Catnip right now, some of them look blue.
Well, I'll take that blue one.
Yeah.
I like that color.
Will the other blue one fit over my cone?
Yeah, you'll be fine,
Yeah,
Just
or
have to
you just
Like
sort
put it
of
on backwards.
right?
comically you're just in it and the cone is still on around it. Like just serving no purpose. And you all get into spacesuits?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You all get into your spacesuits and you sit down. From over the comms, you hear Space Cat speak to you and say,
Harry, you just need to check that everything's running, okay? So if you can you make sure you click, there's a big button that's the shape of a cat paw, and then there's a little button that's in the shape of a bird. So make sure you click both of those, but first you click the cat paw, then you click the bird, okay?
Click
Cat.
them both.
Cat, then bird.
Harry, do that now.
I'd like to press buttons.
yeah, everyone give me a cunning check on a difficulty of 5.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
Oh no!
Everyone starts hitting buttons. You just start doing that thing that cats do, and they're just hitting things and knocking things around. Percival does the same thing. Scout hits the cat paw, and then Princess Snuggles hits the bird.
Excuse me.
But the bird is
Snugs now.
it's Snugs, yeah. Dark Snugs, the future Snugs.
That's right.
Future Snugs hits the button. However, the others just start hitting like random buttons. From over the comms, the voice of Space Cat says,
All right, you've pressed the wrong button. So let's hope you goes to the moon, and then
there is the lift. As you lift off, all of a sudden, the rocket suddenly lifts off. Parts clank and break and fall from it immediately. All of you are kind of shaken around a lot. And that's why I wrote that in. Oh god. And but the rocket itself remains stable, at least for the most part. We see this rocket kind of, it spins wildly and insanely as you guys are launched into orbit. Across the way, there is also a giant human rocket which lifts off perfectly, and it's fine and it goes great. And then your rocket launches cartoonishly off into orbit. As it hits orbit, it starts to wildly veer off course. Let's see. Let's have Domestic Dan roll me a D4. Dan is 1, Saggy 2, PB's 3, and Peachy's 4. Peachy, you suddenly all of you hear
Second eye.
you all hear Space Cat say,
Alright, something's gone wrong. The rocket's not going to the moon. You're actually heading straight for a black hole. That's not always a bad thing, but you just want you to go to the moon. So let's try and get you back on course, okay? Who's that in seat number 4?
Percival.
Aye, who's that?
Hello?
Who is that?
Are you a laser ninja?
What? No, it's me, Space Cat.
Oh, right. Okay.
Is that Mrs. Wigglebottom?
Yes.
Oh, you look different, lad. Okay, well, right. Wigglebottom, all you gotta do, okay?
Do I push?
No, look, listen, it's not as simple as that. On the right of you, there's a little fish-shaped hole on the control panel. And I've got a remote access, but it needs fuel, and it takes kitty treats, okay? So you've got to put a little kitty treat inside the fish-shaped hole on the control panel there, okay, lad?
Yep.
give me a cunning check at difficulty 3. there are several, like a child's toy shaped hole things where you can just put different things in. There's a star and a circle, there's a fish, there's an unbelievably complex Celtic knot
Should I
shape.
tell you that I'm careless, I'm klutzy and inattentive and I often break things?
Absolutely, that's a minus D6.
Minus 6? What?
Well, minus 1. Minus 1.
God. Okay.
Success, but yeah, you drop 2 in there. You do it, but you accidentally drop 2 in there. Suddenly, the rocket starts to stabilize, and it starts to turn once again. And
I think I got it.
You did it, Percy.
Space Cat comes back over the thing and says,
Alright, you've done it. Well done. Nice, good work, that. But you'll notice that you're speeding up a lot. And I mean, like, a lot. And the thing is, in my hands here.
and we cut back to the control room. In one paw, Space Cat has the little thing that she's speaking to you into, the microphone, and in the other she has...
I've got the brakes. So actually that seems you're gonna slow down.
And you start to approach the moon. You guys can see a moon base. There's part glass domes and like metallic structures, like classic villainous looking moon base. The rocket itself dips and aims directly for the moon base. It speeds up and speeds up and speeds up. You guys are heading straight for it at full speed. From over the comms.
Drop my sword.
Yeah, sure.
Aim right for the center.
Alright, yeah, you're even kind of just at it, and there's no way for you to slow down. So if I was you, I'd brace for impact. You'll be okay though. Those suits are made out of plot armor.
The rocket launches straight and hits the side of one of the structures. Boom. It kind of cushions your fall more than anything. You guys hit it, boom, and it just ding, comes to a full stop. It doesn't do anything. You don't even have any whiplash. You just bing, stick into the side of this structure. It bursts a kind of hole into the thing, and there's a load of oxygen you can see rushes out of that particular room. And the door that you're all sat next to, boom, breaks open. Blah, ding, 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 ding. You can see inside this room, there is this strange looking kind of metallic structure again, a bit like the factory that you were in last week. It is all kind of futuristic looking, and there's some strange whirring mechanics and computerized things and futuristic looking cogs that spin and dials that flash. However, there is an alarm that also goes off. As you, each of you maybe undoes your seatbelts, you will need to keep your suits on and maybe look outside or even rush outside of the rocket. You see a very large metallic dog head levitating and floating towards you. It looks a lot like the head from Mechadog, maybe a little smaller. It has this strange futuristic looking hovering device along the bottom of it, allowing it to sort of fly. It barks of you in a sort of like a concussive wave again. The concussive wave kind of hits the side of the rocket, dislodging it, causing it to sort of begin to fall out and float away from the moon base. And this dog's eyes flash at you excitedly. This is Defense Robot D06, which is the closest I could get to spelling out dog. What would you all like to do as Defense Robot D06 comes rushing at you, barking?
Wouldn't D09 would be better?
No, it wouldn't.
Okay.
Who's in charge here?
I have no clue.
No, I don't either.
Do we?
I'd love to jump out of the rocket with the...
Oh god, there we go. I did not mean to have that. I'd love to jump out of the rocket.
You don't have your spacesuit on, Dan, so it makes sense.
You need, if none of you have your spacesuit on, by the way, I'm just going to ask you to leave because I can't actually explain what happens.
You've seen Total Recall.
You just have to turn your camera off and quietly step away for the rest of the session. No, you all have spacesuits on because you can't remove them because I say so.
I don't have thumbs. I'm not a.
Yeah,
That's correct.
Yeah.
You also have a cone preventing you from removing
Oh,
it.
you definitely can't remove the spacesuit. All of you are in spacesuits and doing that kind of moonwalk thing through the rocket and maybe jumping outside, and there's this floating metallic dog head with its ears that are going up and down like this. Its eyes are like flashing different colors. Wow, wow, wow. Most of you can't tell the difference except for those on Catnip that can see all of them, plus like 3 that even we don't know about yet as humans.
Percy, it looks like an early version of a watchdog bot.
Oh my god, attack pattern alpha.
Yes. All right, you two, attack pattern alpha. Let's go.
Let's go.
I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna claw at it.
Come on, you idiots. You want to live forever?
I didn't. Well, I've got only 8 lives left.
Oh, I got all night.
We're gonna need 7 of them.
I don't think I can count that high.
Oh!
I blink onto DO6.
You blink onto him. Okay, yeah, so you're going to
That's right.
teleport onto him. All right. And what are you doing, Percival? Because you had a plan as well, I think.
Yeah, well, this is attack pattern alpha. She blinks to the top, and I hit it from underneath with my sword.
All right.
Because it's an inflatable, squeaky sword.
Yeah. And what about you, Scout?
I'm gonna try and use my super speed to get up to where the cords, any invisible cords, and I'm gonna try and rip them out.
Yeah.
The robot with me.
And what about you, Fairlight Excalibur?
I would love to throw some moon rocks at it with my telekinesis.
Oh, nice.
Moon bullets.
Moon bullets. So, you, sure. You, let's see. I need I think I need a fierce check from everyone, actually. Everyone give me a fierce check, and the difficulty is 5. However, remember, if you're using a magic power, you get a plus 2d6.
And if you're using a skill, you get a +1.
Correct. And you can stack up to 3.
Am I being daredevil-y right now?
I mean,
moon
I'd say
bullets,
so.
Risks leaping into danger.
Sure.
pretty daredevil.
You're probably on an adrenaline rush from the rocket.
Oh.
Crash
Feeling
landing.
catnip, probably.
Yeah, and the insane amounts of catnip coursing through your veins.
Catnip and rockets equal moon bullets.
So, Princess Snuggles, you do teleport immediately onto the defense robot. However, as you do so, Scout runs almost as fast as you can blink. Appears behind, Nanny's behind the dog and bites one of the wires. There's suddenly a and you're electrified. It doesn't give you an owie, but it launches you off the back of the dog.
Yes!
Scout, you successfully dish out an owie to the dog. And
I thought you meant to Princess Snuggles. I
no,
was like,
she's all right, but she successfully teleported onto it, but only for like 1 second as she's electrocuted and launched off of the back of it. Percival, you're successful in pretty much everything you do. It's just useless because it's a blow up sword. So on that failure, really you're successful. It's a failure from our point of view. And Mr. Fairclaws suddenly, like, he does that like Thanos thing when like he just launches like the whole moon, like these moon bullets come launching down. You're successful, but I feel like you also hit yourself in the head. So there's like a bunch of these things that you also dish an owie out on the DO6 defense robot, but you also take an owie. In this moment, the DO6 defense robot lets out a huge concussive wave launches outwards. I think I'm gonna have Mr. Fairclaws and Percival, who are in front of it, give me a fierce check at difficulty 3, please.
Oh,
Nice. So
Jack failure.
success and a failure. So what this does is this huge concussive force kind of hits both of you dead on. Percival, you're maybe a little closer, and it launches you backwards, and you launch out of the hole and begin to float away. You begin to float away. Mr. Fairclaws, you got a success and. So I think you maybe like dive out of the way. The concussive wave doesn't quite hit you. And I think you can have a reaction to react first. What do you want to do?
Oh, I'll telekinesis that flying Percival back.
Yeah, I think you do that. Like Percival starts to float away. Behind him in the distance, in the far distance, and we keep zooming for light years and light years and light years and light years, there's the black hole that he almost went into once. And if he had flown 100 million light years away in that direction, he would have gone into the black hole. But he only goes about a meter and you bring him back in. Does your telekinesis look like anything? Can we see anything, or do you just like control him? Do you just Professor X?
I'm gonna say it would basically be Professor X, except there's like cat fur and dander that kind of get pulled along with it.
Yeah. And Percival, as you begin to float away, you are brought back into the room.
Back! Oh my god, just like the Octo Mind.
just like the Octo Mind. And that is because in the future, Mr. Fairclaws becomes Octo Mind, but you guys never found out his real identity.
Could it be? You think?
too much catnip. He turns into the supervillain Octomind in season 2.
Too dumb.
In Magical Kitties Save the Day Civil War.
Why did I become a bad guy again?
That's why, because it's
You always play a happy character.
So, everything resets again. The defense robot begins to like turn around after it deals with the other two, and it turns itself towards you, you two remaining, or the two that were behind it. What would you guys all like to do? Again, let's start with Princess Snuggles and Scout.
Excuse me, it's Snugs.
Sorry, future Snugs.
Thank you.
Future Trunks.
Yes, exactly. I teleport on top of the dog again.
Okay. Scout, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna sink my teeth into another cord and start ripping them out.
All right. Before I even get to the other two, might as well roll and see if you do exactly the same thing again. Give me another fierce check on difficulty of 5, please.
Oh no.
Oh no! 2 failures there. You guys like you blink again, boom, boom, and you appear on top of this thing as once again you bite this thing's like control panel, but this time like all the wires are already exposed. So all you do is just blah, 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 and you electrocute yourself. Blah, 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 you electrocute yours. You land on top of it while it's being like electrified again, and both of you are ping launched off of it. Your hair all stands on end, and you get that like frazzled electricity look. You don't take any owies, however. Percival and Mr. Fairclaws, what are you two doing? You see these two like boom, boom, launched off of it.
I look over to the pre-Octo Mind.
Yeah.
Are you ready for
Mr. Fairchild?
I know what to do.
You got a plan?
Attack
Play
plan.
with me, kitty. You got a plan?
Attack plan. Clawful. Attack.
Let's do this.
And I'd like to throw him at the dog with telekinesis.
All
I
right.
was just thinking in my head that's what you should do.
So yeah. And what are you doing while you're being thrown?
Well, as soon as I get like an eye level with it, I'm gonna laser beam him right in the eye socket.
With your one eye laser.
With your one eye laser now, so you...
Focus.
Which is now like a laser pointer. So the rest of us are like, what?
Every time he uses it.
I'm gonna change my sheet to laser eye.
Yes, please do. All right, both of you give me another set of fierce rolls on difficulty 5, and you remember if you're using powers, you do get a +2.
Do I get an extra plus for him doing the powers?
No, you just gotta hope he doesn't fail his.
Okay, great. I didn't.
Success and.
Come on, no whammies.
Success but. The success and is that, you know, you launch him perfectly on target. Not only do you launch him perfectly on target, but if he manages to fire his lasers at the center of the Death Star here, it will destroy the defense robot. However, he's only got one eye, and
It's like shooting squirrels in a bucket.
while you account for everything, Percival doesn't. Percival, you fire both of your lasers off. One of them doesn't work because there's no eye under there. Let's not get into it. But the one laser launches out. It does deliver an owie and destroy defense robot DO6. However, there is an electricness that passes out from it, which continues to electrocute Snugs and Scout. It doesn't do anything to them. It's just that's what the butt was. And sometimes I'm not good at thinking up good success butts on the spot. But they look like they might be angry with you because, you know, they got electrocuted and you didn't. The dog powers down. You see it roll over to one side.
Can I do a superhero landing?
You do a superhero landing for sure. There is still like a decent amount of like well, it's probably not actually. There's just, you know, you're still exposed to the moon here. And you are looking around this room, this moon room on the moon base here, and you can see that the room previously was maybe like a storage room or something. There are a lot of boxes and empty things, and there are like components and nuts and bolts and wrenches and things that are kind of just floating around you. A lot of them are kind of like slowly coming down to the ground where the moon has some kind of gravity, but a lot of them are also kind of floating out of the side of the hole that has been created. The spaceship that you landed in and was kind of all busted up and broken anyway is already like floating away. It's like gone. And there's just a giant hole above you. And you're in what is essentially like a large janitor's closet. There are some like broken boxes, and there are some shelving units and things that are all fallen over. And then there's a single door with like weird kind of rubbery airtight locking stuff all around the edge. It looks like it goes up and down, but there's a button on the side.
Can I get in a box?
Yes. All of you get in a box for about 35 minutes to an hour. And then what do you want to do?
I love boxes.
I too love boxes. I've missed them.
Boxes in the future.
No boxes.
What a terrible future.
It was hell.
Boxes?
Do they have barrels?
No barrels.
Barrels either.
What about little corners you can sit in if there's nothing to hide in?
There's no corners. Everything's cylindrical. In the future.
But not a barrel. Okay.
It's terrible. That's how terrible it is.
What do we do now?
Oops.
What's the future?
No, we don't either.
Stop the future from happening. We can.
Crying again. She had too much catnip.
We're a team. We can do this.
I hope so.
I'm Percival, by the way.
I'm Snugs.
Oh, hey.
I'm Scout. Nice to meet you.
I'm Mr. Fairclaw.
Nice to meet you, Scout. Fairclaw.
Now that we've taken down this guy together, I guess there's a little hope, right?
I start bathing Scout.
Yep. And you all bathe each other for maybe 35 minutes to an hour. And then after that, I don't even know how you're doing this in spacesuits, but that's what you do. And then and then
Oh my god.
and then what would you like to do?
I'm just looking the outside of the glass like I'm trying real hard. Sorry.
It's like that. It's like that instinctual thing, like where it's just like muscle memory over anything else. You know, like even when like a dog or a cat has like the thing on the cone, they still do the scratch on the cone side thing.
All you can hear is this.
Yeah.
Side of my cone for the last 35 minutes.
Yeah. And then what do you do?
You can't laugh. It's gonna set me up. Oh god.
I just imagine. Sorry.
All right. Well, that's where we'll go to our break. Because we have no cast currently. Remember, you can play this game at home with your friends, family. It is particularly fun to play with children, like I have to every week. Young children, especially, I think, would very easily be able to play this game. If you have younger children who are perhaps of the younger variety, as opposed to these 30-somethings, I think we have here, who are also children. Then this is a good system for that. It's very easy to GM for. There is only a couple of stats that you need to remember, a couple of things to remember, and making enemies in it, things and encounters and stuff in it is really, really easy and fun to do as well. So if you're not
you can get punny with it.
If you're not an experienced GM, I think it would be it's so simple to create an enemy. You just give them a defense limit, an AoE limit, and then some stuff that they can do, just reactions pretty much. So it's really it's a really good simple system, both for new or experienced GMs and for new, experienced or young players, I think.
Or totally experienced players that just want to sit down and be cats. Because let's be real.
There's that as well.
There is that.
We're going to go to a short break. Please check out the Kickstarter. There's a link in the chat or in the descriptions on the VODs. While we're on this little break, we'll be back in 5 minutes or so. This lot will compose themselves, and then they'll probably spend about 2 hours, checking each other's fur, and then maybe get on with the adventure after that. See you in a couple of minutes.
Please groom me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the stream with added real kitties. Look at that. This is apparently exactly what Scout looks like. Look at that. Real cat. Real one. Lovely. Why can't I say anything with any sincerity?
Because I put the patch on the dominant eye, and it was a bad plan.
Dude, there's nothing dominant about you. Get out of here.
Wow.
Let's carry on playing the game.
We're done bathing each other.
I forcibly move you on into the next room. You hit the button and the door moves you into a next thing, which and then another button in an airtight seal thing move you into the and then you go into the next room. This next room is airtight, and there is oxygen flowing in here, so you can take your suits off, your space suits, while you're in here, and you see again more of the same kind of scenery. It's got all sorts of whirring machinery that seems to be creating and pumping oxygen into this facility. On one side there's this big machine which is creating oxygen and launching it into the room, and then you can see a set of vents and pipes that lead out from it and out of this room and head presumably out into the other sections of this moon base. There is also a giant onyx statue at the center of the room of a very scruffy looking dog, and underneath it it says, "Merlin is a good boy." The door at the other side of the room seems to lead to a much bigger chamber. It looks like it leads to the glass domed room that you saw on impact, or as you were coming in to crash land. There's this giant glass domed area. There is a huge futuristic looking door between this one and that dome. Above that door is a little ray gun, a tiny little one, that is moving around seemingly at random, just sort of jerking left and right and up and down.
No.
What would you guys like to do now you're in this room?
Is that Onyx?
Looks like a ray gun.
Oh,
Is there a laser pointer from that ray gun?
There isn't. Just purely for time.
Okay. I checked because you said it was moving randomly back and forth.
Yeah, I like saying yes and, but this one doesn't have that.
Okay. All right, great. Just checking.
That's what he
Thank
looks
you.
like.
What?
Calls himself the Darkened One in the future, in the year
That's right.
777.
Yeah. And he has no teeth.
And
Why
he
is
banned
this? Wait,
all cubes.
so he's all bark but no bite?
That's what he wants you to think.
What if he doesn't have teeth?
Yeah.
Gum you to death.
Oh, I don't want to be gummed.
No,
What's
you
not
really
gum in my
don't.
fur? That didn't help out very well. That's one of the reasons I have this.
That's how Barnaby went out.
That's how Percy lost his eye.
He got gum in his eye?
His eye got gummed.
Oh. Mint gum hurts.
How do we?
Is there a door over there? Should we get to the door?
Yeah, we should go to the door.
Are you going to the door?
Wait, Scout, perhaps you should scout ahead.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna sneak
Hmm.
to the door and use my super speed to just kind of zip around and jump behind hiding spots. Even though it's probably just a room and not that far to go.
Yeah.
Be-
Okay. She goes so fast that it looks like she's not moving at all. As your internet connection just dipped a little bit there, and you just froze. And you zip over to the door. Give me a cunning check on a difficulty of 3. And you're using a superpower, so you can add 2 to it. It's a super success. pretty much you can do what you want. You're moving so fast that the ray gun doesn't seem to notice you. Nothing seems to happen. As you get over there, you're moving, like everything slows down around you. So it comes to like a seeming stop. Like these guys are all like stuck in you know, you're used to this by now, and you do that like flash type zipping around. You move over what seems to you to be very casually, but to everyone else is at super speed. You can see that the ray gun is stopped. The whirring and the buzzing and the beeps and all of the flashing lights and things have all basically stopped. They're all moving so imperceptibly slowly. You get all the way over to where this door is, and you start maybe looking it over. You can see that it's like a huge door. On the right hand side there's a panel. These guys two of them have encountered a panel very similar to this before. It's like a paw print scanner that previously they had electrified to open, but you get over there, you can see that there's a panel on one side and then a bunch of wiring, loads of wiring that's attached from the panel to the ray gun to the door to all of the locks and the bolts and things that seem to attach to it, and then all of the airtight connections that are around this huge metallic door. What do you do while you're there?
Are there any cords that look particularly big or brightly colored or
I think there's
important?
there's like one of those classic like black and yellow looking ones that's like, you know, attached in places and it's hanging down every now and then, but it's like thick and maybe
got a sign, do not touch.
Yeah, it's got a sign attached to it that says please do not, you know, rip this one.
I'm gonna rip that one.
Yeah. All right, give me a fierce check on a difficulty of 2.
Okay.
Did you just purr?
It's fierce.
This is my fierce. It's my, I'm gonna get it. It felt so normal. No, it doesn't feel so normal.
No, it's amazing. It was perfect.
I loved every
Do not
second.
change. Do not change at all.
This is the RP that I was meant for. Okay.
Success, but I think you jump up and you just rip this cord open and it I think again you are electrocuted at this point. You just and you are like launched off the back of it. Boom! Whoosh, you fly backwards towards the others. For the rest of you, you see for a moment Scout kind of turn around, and then suddenly she's just flying through the air. There's an electric kind of spark. You see the door open up, lifts upwards. The ray gun at the top kind of dips down, and the control panel that was blinking previously powers down. However, there is a kitten flying through the air. Does anyone want to do anything?
Scout! I will blink up and try to catch her.
Okay, give me a fish check again with 3 difficulty.
You said a fish check, and I got really.
Everyone has a passive fish check score. We don't need to worry about that. That's advanced magical kitty save the day systems. Success. Yeah, you blink up and you grab her. And then what? Blink back down?
Yeah.
Dum dum. Yeah, you just boom. You kind of land on your feet because you're a cat. Scout. And you've been saved. The door is now open. You can see through it. It seems to lead into a much bigger chamber. Maybe each of you kind of pitter-patter through, you know, tails up, kind of doing the cat walk thing as you saunter through a door as if you own the damn place. And you each walk through this large door into that huge glass domed room. And from the outside, it maybe didn't look so huge, but now that you walk into it, you can see that this room is huge. It's ginormous. You don't see the ray gun. You don't see the ray gun in this room, but you do see it outside of the glass dome, in an adjacent room, across the other side. You can see this ray gun kind of pointing out of like an observatory-looking structure on the far side of the dome. The dome that you're in, though, has a lot of greenery inside of it. It looks a lot like a park. In fact, This is definitely a replica of Dewberry Park from Tablesville. And there are like trees along the far edge. There's a small lake with robot geese in it. There's like an open field, which is ideal for playing fetch with a human if you were a dog. Wait, did I mention robot geese? Yeah, there are robot geese. They're flying at you and attacking you, and there are 4 of them. What do you guys want to do? All of these geese suddenly start launching at you.
Attack formation alpha!
Oh my god, it's V1 Robo Geese.
V1 robo geese start launching at you all of a sudden, yeah.
What noise do they make when they attack us, Brad?
Robot geese noise is like, probably like... Loads of them.
Someone clip it, please. Please. Okay.
Hit the dirt!
There's too many of them.
Too many of them.
There's plenty.
Yeah, there's 4. And they're flying at you. They're just there suddenly. They're moving at you straight away. Robot-looking geese.
I would like to... Are they coming in like sort of a formation type thing?
They're doing that thing where the birds, they go in like an arrow formation.
Okay. I would like to run towards them, pulling out my sword. I would try and jump on the first one, step off the first one onto the second one, then from the second one onto the third one, and then jump from the third one and try and land on it with my sword and attack the 4th one.
All right, before anyone else does anything, roll me a fierce check with a difficulty of... Hang on. I don't even know if this can do this, but we'll find out. 3, 6, 9, 12. With a difficulty of 12.
Okay. I can't beat that even if I use all my kitty treats, Brad.
I know. So
I
why?
like to use all my kitty treats.
Yep.
Fierce 12 plus
This
3.
is bad.
This is intense.
It's a failure, Brad.
That's a
Surprisingly.
failure. So he jumps up on the first one. He successfully jumps onto the first one, maybe. Yeah. Then he successfully jumps onto the next one. And that's when 2 of them suddenly do that horrible, and this is literally the name of the move they have. Horrible goose flap peck attack thing. 2 of them flap their wings wildly, and they start wildly attacking you. And yeah, you just get obliterated in midair. Give me a fierce or a cunning check at difficulty 3. Twice.
Me?
2 of them, yeah.
Difficulty 3 is 1.
1 success.
3.
2 successes. Yeah, you're attacked by them, and they completely interrupt what you were trying to do. But you jump off of the back of one of them. Another one swoops up to get you, and you just avoid it, and it launches upwards past you, and you start to kind of spiral out. You're left behind though. You're falling really far, but you land on your feet because you're a cat. And the geese just fly past you towards the others. What are the rest of you doing? Let's start with Princess Snuggles.
Snugs would like to
Future Trunks, what do you want to do?
And blink onto...
I just learned it. I've just learned it.
All right.
I learned Princess Snuggles. I got it. After 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And you changed it.
Yeah. I did it so you would learn the old one.
It worked, but it's pointless now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right, well...
Princess Snuggles no longer exists. I can't say the other word.
True. Yeah, future Snugs. Go on in.
Future Snugs, I would like to teleport. But before I do that, I say... We have to pee on them. It's the only way to kill the electronics.
Yeah. And Scout, what would you like to do?
Because I am sick of being electrocuted,
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna join on this peeing adventure.
Yeah, you don't think that's going to lead in you being electrocuted? Peeing on electrical...
I've only been electrocuted by biting cords. It'll be fine.
Can't possibly go wrong. Yeah.
No.
So
I'm gonna dart behind Snugs and wait and prepare my pee?
Yeah, all right. And what about Mr. Fairclaws? What are you doing?
Hearing the suggestion to pee on the electronics.
Yeah.
I remember Noodle didn't like it when I peed on his computer.
And I'd like to throw my pee telekinetically at one.
All right. Everyone can make me, I guess this is just full force fierce check. So each of you give me a fierce check at difficulty 3. You're all using your superpowers, so you can add 2d6 or 2 to the roll.
So these robo-ghosts are V1, V2 are actually waterproof.
Yeah. V3 can teleport to different dimensions and appear behind you.
Oh my god.
Armed with whatever technology they can gather. Okay, so everyone got a success and? Oh no, you got a success but. So success and. I think like these geese all like make formation after the attack from Percival, and they come launching down towards you. Suddenly, Snugs teleports above one, and there's just this like perfect fire of pee as it hits the robot goose. It explodes in fire and brimstone. They just Mr. Fairclaws kind of pees and then telekinetically balls it up and then launches it at the goose. It explodes. And then Scout, you like ran behind one or ran into a position so that it would fly. It flies past you. There's like one of those like moments where it slows down, and suddenly you like in slow-mo for everyone else, but normal for you. You just pee straight onto it while it's slowly flying past. It explodes. However, you got a success but, which means you get electrocuted. As your pee hits the thing, you're too close to it, and then you hit a circuit, and then nothing happens to you, but you do get electrocuted. Bong, you're launched off. One of the geese kind of does like a sideways thing and turns around, and then just starts launching dive bombing towards you. Scout, that's your name. Scout. Make me a fierce or cunning check at difficulty 3, please. As this goose launches towards you. Success. You like get electrocuted, you land on your feet, you turn, you see this goose. It flies past you and launches up into the air. There's one still flying around. Percival, is there anything you want to do?
Percy, use the eye!
Are you sure?
I'm sure!
Okay, I look up at the goose. I reach for my eye patch. And you can see this red burning glow just and it's just like and this gummed eye that was gummed by the darkened one himself. It's just raw, unfettered laser power. Just
nice. Yeah, give me a fierce check at difficulty 3 plus your 2d6 from the power.
Okay.
Are you telling me that eye was in mint condition the whole time?
No, it's been gummed up.
Been
So you
gummed
can't
up.
control it. So it's always shooting laser.
Mint gum. Mint
gum.
Success and.
You hit the goose. You destroy the goose. And you see into the future.
Okay.
With your gummed up eye. Just one eye sees into the future and the other one remains in the present. And as you see into the future, you see just a few seconds from now when everyone is just kind of sitting around. and they're all just like, grooming themselves a little bit and licking their paws and then their ears like that. A dark future indeed. You are then snapped back to the present, and everyone, you start grooming yourselves for maybe about 2 hours. Just licking yourselves, checking everything's good. There's like the rubble of these geese. There's like one goose that's like electronic and just kind of like next to you while you're like doing a thing. You're just licking yourselves. There's like fire and stuff like that. As you guys lick yourselves for a little while. After a little bit, there is a voice that you hear that comes on over a tannoy system. I know English. Honestly, I swear to God, it's my actual, what is it called? Mother tongue. My primary language. You guys are, busy. And even Merlin has been, itching himself and licking for maybe 2 hours as well, distracted. But now that you're all kind of like coming out of that for a moment, a tannoy system speaks from around you. I think you probably each begin to notice that you feel a little lightheaded and sluggish as a tannoy speaks across the entire dome.
You didn't think that I didn't know you were here? Well, I've turned the life support systems off in the dome. And the trees will last pretty long without the oxygen, but you won't. Goodbye, little kitties.
It's him.
The door behind you. And then a red light that says locked comes on above the door that you came in. What do you guys want to do?
It's okay. I knew this would happen. We're from the future.
What do we do then?
We get out.
Oh. That's a real good plan.
Why does the door say licked?
I don't know.
I don't think it's licked.
We lick the door?
Maybe.
I attempt to lick the door, but the comb prevents me.
Scout, can you lick the door?
Yeah, I'll
just walk up and just stick my tongue right on the...
Yeah, you're instantly
on the door.
electrocuted and launched back about 5 feet.
Why did you do this to me, guys? I think I'm starting to like it now.
And I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna lick the door again.
Yeah, roll me a d6. A flat d6. You've done it. You have got yourself a brand new superpower. You've only gone and done it. You now have the magical power Zap.
Yes!
Which is what Sergeant Meowmers had, which is that you can absorb and shoot out electricity now. Congratulations. Yeah, you lick this thing and then you have a new ability. You've absorbed so much electricity in your time up here, and there's also all this weirdness going on being so close to the anti-magic ray gun. That is the reason, the best reason I could come up with, that you have got magic powers. Additional.
Wait a minute, was this a 3-episode origin story of Scout?
Yes.
Basically, you've just blown it. But starting next week, there is a full 3-year Tablestory spin-off campaign called The Adventures of Scout Through Time and Different Worlds.
Oh, I love it!
By the end of this episode, she will have all 100 powers that are available, or whatever it is. There's not 100, but there's a bunch of powers in there on a D100. But spoilers. So she's electrocuted, but she now has the power for zapping. I think, Scout, you probably spend a moment kind of like absorbing and then shooting out electricity.
See?
You now
We're
have
from
that
the
power.
future. We knew this would happen.
Yeah.
Shoot the door.
This is the door back to from where you need to go, and not the one you need to
not
go
that door.
into.
The other door.
A door on the other side of the park.
I'll take one last little lick of the door just to get a little extra juice.
Yeah. You're super powered now.
And then I'll zap the other door.
Yeah, you guys walk across the replica Dewberry Park, and you get to the other door, and this is pretty much the same door as what is on the other side. There's no ray gun or anything, but there's the same size and the light and everything like that. Give me a fierce check with an extra 2d6 for using zap. The difficulty is 2.
2.
A success. Yeah, I think you go over there. What does the zap look like? What do we see when you do this?
So Scout's gonna just kind of like all of her hair is gonna stand on edge, and she's just gonna turn into like essentially a pom-pom ball and just start floating around the door, and just electricity coming out, and she's just gonna be like, whee!
Nice.
Electrocuting the door.
Static furball.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah,
We did it.
the thing busts open, and
Just like we knew she would.
and it
Not so much.
From the future to make a timeline where we created the most powerful kitty.
you create.
Destroy.
It is. You are now in the the alpha timeline, but that's neither here nor there. You bust
see
open the
what you
thing,
did
and in front of you is the next room. It's the room that houses the anti-magic ray gun. It's pretty large. There is, it's mostly empty. There's loads of crates, plenty of wires, Scout, whirring machines, calculating things. There's an enormous computer system sitting against one wall. On it, there is like a digital display of the Earth with this ray gun pointed at it with all the calculations perfect. There is like little animations that show the ray gun shooting at the Earth and reducing the magical powers. At the top right, it says magical power 100%, and then when the ray gun hits the Earth, it reduces it to 0%. The weapon, the ray gun, is sort of softly humming and gathering energy. You can see that it's kind of building up energy. On the left hand side of the display, there's like a little battery charge kind of logo that's pretty much most of the way to the top, but not entirely there yet. There is a chair at the end of the ray gun for a dog to operate it, but Merlin is missing. Suddenly, there is the heavy footfalls as an actual Metal Gear Rex from 1998's Metal Gear Solid, directed and written by Hideo Kojima, enters the room. The giant bipedal mech turns a corner where it had been sort of vaguely concealed, but not entirely in the first place. The head portion opens up briefly, like the jaws of a dangerous dinosaur, revealing Merlin within. And he shouts at you, "Damn you, kitties, but don't think I'm underprepared." It closes again and seals Merlin within.
My God, a new kind of Metal Gear.
I do that thing. I do that thing that cats do when they get surprised by cucumbers and they just like, and they exactly right, like, ah!
Yeah, there's a particular sound effect that I'm not sure if I can use, but I probably can, and I'm not gonna. That comes on over your now headsets that you've got on from the spacesuits that you're not wearing anymore. I'm not sure, but you are wearing part of enough.
Yes.
So you have the exact Star Trek logo on the chest of it, and you see them light up. From
Beep, beep.
from that you hear beep beep, and you hear Space Cat. Space Cat says,
That's, you know what that is? That's Metal Gear Rex. Get it? Because it's Rex. Because it's a dog. That's why it's in the thing. Okay, never mind. It's really hard to kill that thing. Wait, I was Scottish. I wasn't American.
Yeah, who is this? What happened?
I'm Space Cat's brother.
Space Cat's cat. Otacon. Space Cat's brother.
I'm Space Cat's brother, Autocat.
Otacon. Otacon. Does it have any weaknesses?
Yeah, it does. In order to defeat Metal Gear Rex, you must first destroy the sensor dish, and that'll open the mouth portion and allow you to tag that dog inside it directly.
Okay.
bleep bleep. It's over. The call is over. And then there is a giant there is a giant thing. There's a metal. You have to defeat Metal Gear Rex exactly the same way you have to do it in the 1998 video game Metal Gear Solid from Konami. Good luck. What would you like to do? This thing is bearing down on you. On the left-hand side of it, maybe, there is a sensor dish, a big circular dish, which is kind of moving around. On the right-hand side of it, it has this giant rail gun, which looks very similar to the anti-magic ray gun, but a lot smaller, and it starts to move around. This is an anti-magic rail gun. Inside of it is Merlin pulling at varying things with his thumbs that he has, because he can pull and push things now, with his weird little horrible paws that he licks too much. And he's pulling things back and forth, and he's like looking, and he can see exactly where all of you are. On the back of it, a missile array starts to power up. And what would you all like to do in this situation?
Mr. Fairclass, do you think you can disrupt that with that weird thing around your neck? Do you think you can stop the dish thing?
You think I could become a satellite?
I mean, I think you could. You can do whatever you dream, right?
This is the Alpha timeline. You can do anything you want.
I'm gonna see if I can disrupt it with the power of Catnip.
Galacto Mine.
Catnip planet?
I am become cat destroyer of cats. Wait, no, that's not right.
I'd like to eat a kitty treat and attempt to overload the satellite on it with the power of colors.
Well, as dogs have dichromatic vision, so does Metal Gear Rex. The only reason it's in it is because it's called Rex, and that means it also can only see.
It's fine.
It can only see 3 colors, I think, like grays, browns, and then like I think blues and yellows. So maybe it sees yellows as blue. I can't remember what the rules are. So you suddenly overload the sensor dish, or attempt to. Give me a. No, actually, no. I think you just do that. You said you use a kitty treat.
Correct. I use the kitty treat.
Yeah, you just mark off a kitty treat, and you see the sensor dish suddenly start spinning around wildly. From inside the thing, Merlin kind of speaks out and says,
"Oh, what have you done? I can't see where you were at. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna fire these missiles anyway."
all these missiles start firing out from the top of it. You do.
I would like to blink.
You do hit the thing, and give it an owie, one of its owies, on the sensor dish, but it does start to fire missiles. So you would like to blink.
I want to blink to the missiles and like try to bat at them and redirect them back at him.
All right, Scout, what are you doing? Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah. No, don't tell her that. I was gonna just completely make it up.
Yes.
I would like to help Metal Gear Rex.
My window right now, so I didn't want you to hear the jet noises.
It would have worked really well here, I think.
True. So the mecha is in the room, and you said there's a bunch of like electrical equipment kind of around it.
Yeah, tons of it.
Are there any like cords that are kind of near it?
Maybe.
Like
yeah, I would say yeah. There is. We'll say yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna sneakily try and dart around it and grab a cord and try and attach it to the mech and try and supercharge it with my electricity.
Right. Okay. Percival, what are you doing? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I want to try and see if I can get inside Rex.
Breathe. Everyone take a deep breath. This is a family-friendly show.
I want to try and get in the cockpit with the dog. I want to know, is there like a hatch that I can get in? Do I see any hatches? I'm looking for hatches. That's what I'm
okay.
doing.
You're looking for a hatch. Okay, so Percival, give me a cunning check on a difficulty of 4. Scout, give me a fierce check on a difficulty of 5. Blink Snugs, Future Trunks, give me a fierce check on a difficulty of 5. First, give me all those things first. There it is. The sound of missiles launching towards you. So what do we have? Hang on. So Princess Snugs. Oh no, Percival. Success, and you actually see that there are no hatches. This thing is like what you learn is that it's impossible to get in this thing without him opening it from inside, or you maybe forcing open the like mouth thing that it kind of has. It has that, it's, you know, T-Rex is really what it's supposed to look like. Opening thing. It's basically impossible to see inside of it. However, you do work out that. In fact, wait. I'll wait on the end because I think you might want something else in a second. Princess Snuggles, success, but you blink onto a missile to try and bat it out the way. But as you blink onto it, it's way too big. They're actually pretty big. They're bigger than you are. And you're just riding it now. You're just on a missile backwards, tail up in the air, just launching down towards the varying targets on the ground. Scout, you like zip behind the huge bipedal thing, the mech, and there's a huge wire that you kind of try and lift up to try and electrocute the mech with. But this wire is way too big, and even if you try and absorb the electricity, there's no time because one of the legs appears above you as if it's about to crush you, and it starts to come down. Also, loads of missiles launch at all of you. Everyone roll me a d6.
Ooh. 3 for future
5.
Snugs.
1 isn't good. 2. So I think we'll deal with the 1 first. You're there doing your like, I'm going to make you see colors that you've never seen before, and the sensor dish starts freaking out. And a missile just hits you square in the face. Bang, boof, and you just, we see Mr. Fairclaws launched away from the area. You just kind of cartoonishly smoke following you. You take 1 owie.
Can I eat a kitty treat instead and not take damage?
Yes. Oh, that's not to take an injury and not an owie, but you can do that if you want.
Which that'd be my second owie, which would cause an injury, right?
All right, yeah, so fine, yeah, don't take this owie. Fine, yeah, you don't take an owie, but you still get launched away. Yeah. You're just big and tough. Scout rolls a 5. The explosion, actually, the way this works, it hits the ground near you. The thing comes down, but you are like, the explosion propels you out of the way. It cancels like what you were about to do, kind of, which is die and be crushed by a giant foot. And you are launched out of the way, and you kind of like roll over to one side. Pretty much the same thing happens for you, Snugs. You're on this this missile. It hits the ground, explodes, and launches you up in the air. And then Percival, what were you doing? There was a thing I was going to get you to do.
It was
you were,
and.
Yeah, you were trying to work out like a way in.
Yeah.
You are hit by the explosion to a degree, and I think it probably just cancels out your and from your success, and you're like, I'm onto something, and then an explosion goes off near you, and you're just launched away from it. And I think the effects cancel each other out. From inside from inside Metal Gear Rex from 1998's Metal Gear Solid video game, the sensor dish comes back online.
Haha, I see you now, kiddies. Time to be anti-magic railgunned.
The railgun starts like turning, and it locates one of you, and then starts to charge up. What would you all like to do? Anyone want to go first?
I would. I would like to not get hit by it. Thanks.
Is there a table
Sure.
or a desk that has controls for this ray gun?
You can give me a cunning check on a difficulty of 4. In fact, so can you as well, Percival. Scout and Snugs, what are you two doing?
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I would like to. Oh gosh, I want to use cunning
Yeah.
check to see how best I can stop this from happening, or at least defeat the Rex.
Okay. Yeah, you can give me a cunning check on a difficulty of 2. It's reduced because you already know. And the scout, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna try and so you said the dish is spinning again?
No, it's like online. It's working again.
Online?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to try and zap the dish, but because things are looking a little hopeless, I'm gonna be a little emotional and be crying onto the dish at the same time because I just really want to get out of here.
Okay. give me a cunning check on difficulty of 4. Snugs, I need yours as well.
Yep.
Did it work? Oh, yeah.
Super success. Yeah, you have like this. You have this like crazy memory. All of a sudden.
From the future.
Snugs. No. From the past. From about in-game 20 seconds ago, when Ottercat said to you,
In order to defeat Metal Gear Rex, you have to destroy the sensor dish, and this will open the mouth portion and allow you to attack the dog inside directly.
and you remember that, and you have to destroy the sensor dish in order to be able to gain access. Yeah,
We
you have,
get a super success.
you have this like
there.
crazy memory from like a second ago.
That's crazy.
So you remember when you were told exactly how to
Amazing.
defeat the Railgear Rex.
Wow.
It's amazing, right? I'm sorry.
I would like to disable the sensor dish then.
Well, first of all, Percival, you were looking for you just didn't want to be hit by the anti-magic railgun.
Yeah, I was just trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, it doesn't target you. Scout, you wanted to cry on the sensor dish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your electrified tears cry all over the sensor dish and give it another owie. And it starts like electrifying, but it seems to still kind of be working, but it's like, you know, like it looks busted, but not completely destroyed. And Mr. Fairclaws, you find, you see the computer system. And as PB said in our thing here, you can't read human very well unless you have a talent for it, but I don't think your character does. You realize that you can pull up the schematics for Metal Gear Rex on that computer. It has all the information on it, so you like go running over there and start hitting buttons at random. You pull up the wiki for 1995's Metal Gear Solid, and as you begin to read it out loud to everyone exactly how to defeat it, you are hit by the anti-magic gun. Or you're about to be hit by it, actually. Give me a fierce or a cunning check at difficulty 4.
Oh.
As this railgun...
Success, but
you are starting to read like how to defeat this thing when the anti-magic railgun fires at you and you jump out of the way. That like cat like directly up in the air thing where they go exactly a directly upwards thing. The railgun goes underwards and hits the computer, destroying the screen, and you don't have access to the wiki anymore. But you did see on there that in order to defeat Metal Gear Rex in 1995's Metal Gear Solid video game, you must first destroy the sensor dish, and it will open the mouth portion and allow you to attack Liquid Snake directly. So, you know how to do it now. You guys know how to do it. Like, this whole time you haven't known, but now you really...
Destroy the sensor dish.
Everyone shout at the same time. Everyone is shouting, you have to destroy this. And you even get in like a comms come through, like, you
Gotta destroy the sensor dish, Caps.
and you know how to do it now. From the Metal Gear starts turning around. The missile launcher starts whirring up again. They fire outwards.
There are 2 loads.
Says Evil Merlin from inside as missiles launch into the air. What do you guys want to do now?
I am blinking onto the sensor dish. And
Blinking
I'm going
onto the sensor dish
and attacking it.
and
Yes.
attacking it. Okay, what
That's
about
right.
everyone else?
Can you get me up there, fair close?
I think so.
Yeah?
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my sword again. I keep putting it away. Every time I pull it out, I have to put it away so I can pull it out again and look cool.
Pull out the sword. And I assume Fairclaws would launching him up there again with the
Yeah, I'd love to
telekinesis.
launch him as best I can.
Okay, and then Scout, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna, cause you're on top of it, right, Snugs?
She's trying to. None of you. You're all doing like this thing in the moment, and we're gonna see how it works out for you. You tell me what you want to do in this moment, and then we'll see how it works out.
I'm probably gonna keep electrically charging those tears.
Yeah. All right. So you just keep crying. So
Hopeless.
I'm
So
trying
you
to
give me
kill
a-
the sensor dish.
yeah, you can cry in on it.
Wait. Why are we killing the sensor dish?
The power, the power of the electrified tears. Give me a cunning roll on a difficulty of 4, and the rest of you give me fierce checks on a difficulty of 5. Please.
Why are we attacking the sensor?
No one knows, really. No one. Wow. All right. Here's what happens. Fair Claws, you pick him up, Percival, and launch him upwards. He like grabs his sword and like aims it towards the sensor dish. Percival, you hit the sensor dish, but your thing is inflatable, and once again, it just doesn't do anything. It literally cannot deal damage to anything.
Why do I keep using this thing?
It just bends. And then you're like on the sensor dish and you jump off of it for a moment. At this moment, Princess Snuggles.
Future Snugs.
Future Snugs. It's because I read the bubble and not the thing. You appear on top of the sensor dish and start what? Scratching it?
Yes, or biting.
Scratching and biting at the metal.
Yeah. Yeah.
As the final tears fall, the electrified. Between the two of you, you deal the owies required to destroy the sensor dish. Congratulations. I don't know why I'm bothering to even write the owies on it. The front of the thing opens up. And the dog is revealed, pulling and pressing buttons and pulling levers that are designed for dog paws and things. He has a little more of a concerned look on his face as the thing opens up.
Damn you, Kitties.
It's not over that. He hits a button, bong, and the huge like electromagnetic field pushes out from the mech. Any of you that are on it, which is 3 of you, give me.
Wait, I thought you said I fell off it.
You're like on it. You like jump off the sensor dish,
Oh,
but
I
you're
fell off the dish.
You're on the
Gotcha.
thing. Yeah. Give me fierce checks on difficulty of 3, please. Nicely done. Nicely done. Yeah, you have defeated part 1. Success but. So all of you are hit by this electromagnetic pulse that comes out from it. You're all pushed off of the top of it. No one takes any owies, but you're all removed from the top of this thing. And you all kind of land on your feet because you're cats. And there's no fall damage in this game. Dung, dung, dung. All of you are now on the floor again, like around this huge thing. The dog is inside of it, and he's turning around a bunch, and he says,
Yeah, you're not gonna get me. Just because the front is open doesn't matter. This thing's still online.
and he presses a bunch of buttons, bringing the anti-magic railgun around again. It begins to power up once more. What would you guys like to do?
I would like to look around for a rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher. All right, give me a cunning check on a difficulty of 4. Anyone else?
I would like to blink to the ray gun and point it at the DOG.
Well, it's like a giant thing on the side of it, and I don't know if you can point it like in the...
Was there a seat with controls? Oh, I see. It's yeah, okay.
You just look up a picture of Metal Gear Rex.
Got it.
Because I don't know how to describe what it looks like. It kind of looks like a weird squat T-Rex with one side has this massive railgun on it. And the other side has the sensor dish, which is now like electrified and busted up.
I'd like to bat things off of the desk in hopes that does something.
Of course. You can give me a fierce check on a difficulty of 1. Did you want to do something different, PB?
I will think. Wait on me.
All right, Scout.
So the mech's mouth is open, right?
Yeah, he's like in it. Like,
Okay.
this horrible,
I'm gonna-
disgusting dog.
I'm gonna try and charge up like a big ball of electrical energy, and I'm gonna go, Mr. Fairclaws, can you help me throw this into the mouth of the mech?
No, don't hurt him.
Don't hurt.
Sorry.
He's in there like,
I'm gonna kill you guys. I hate you so much.
he's like saying like horrendous thing.
I'm gonna bite your heart out.
You're like, don't.
I'm gonna gum your eyes.
He's pure evil.
So, can you help me?
Well, Mr. Fairclaws pushes a cup off the edge, and but I'm gonna say a success, and he can hear you. While he is so very distracted by pushing a random cup off the edge.
What do you need?
I'm gonna make this big ball of energy. Can you use your telekinesis and send it into the dog's mouth? Or the mech's mouth, not the dog's mouth.
Make sure you mix like four balls or something, because I can only move objects, not energy.
Oh, I'm gonna crush up a kitty treat
Yeah.
in my mouth and just spit it into the ball of electricity.
Which means you completely succeed on this thing, which means only Mr. Fairclaws needs to give me a fierce check on a difficulty of 1. Because you're aiming it at you're aiming it at Rex or the dog?
In the Rex's mouth.
Oh, and on a difficulty of 4 then.
Oh, I should have.
He's so weak and lame, dude. Do you think he's got a defense of anything but 1? Should be 0. You suck. Be a better guard dog. Sorry, I'm gonna get a better guard dog next time. Season 2 will be whatever the biggest dog there is out there. One of those like giant mountain dog things.
What's the one Tuesdays go?
Yeah, you've already had one of those though. Dane the Grey
Mountain dog.
was already in it.
All right, so difficulty 4.
Difficulty 4, fierce.
Yep.
Percival.
Yes.
You do find what you're looking for. You find an FIM-92 Stinger, a man-portable infrared homing surface-to-air missile developed by the United States of America and entered into service in 1981. It's classified as a man-portable air defense system. Man-pads. I'm not even kidding. You actually find one in a box nearby. And the box is like spinning around slightly off the ground with some sort of weird futuristic device. However, on a success but, you literally have to be a human to use it because it's man
I didn't get a
pads.
success, but I just got a success.
Oh, well then you find one. You find a Stinger. You find the FIM-92 Stinger. And Fairclaws, you launch this thing. This ball of energy hits the front of Rex and electrifies the entire thing. It kind of stumbles backwards, and Merlin inside is like, I can't get it to work now. And on a success but though, it does mean that whoever got a success but in here, Fairclaws and Snugs. What were you doing? What were you doing, Snugs? I remember I was coming back to you.
I will blink back and forth up above Merlin's view to distract him and have him bark at me. And
all right, yeah, that's gonna definitely work. He chases flies all the time, and it's so annoying. Give me I guess a fierce. No, give me a cunning check on a difficulty of 4.
Can I still use my power?
You're using your
Bonus
powers,
2?
so you get a 2, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just letting you guys at it now, so long as you know. Success. So, yeah, you do that. You start bing, 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 blinking all over the place. And Merlin's like, I can't get this thing to... And it's so annoying and so loud. And he just starts barking at you like crazy. And it's the worst. And it wakes up a human somewhere really far away. And the human's like, dude, I'm trying to sleep, man. Stop chasing that fly. I'm trying to sleep. It's a fly. Just leave it alone. Stop jumping on my head. However, Fairclaws, roll me a d6, please, as a rocket missile hits you, ish.
3.
A rocket kind of explodes near where you are, and pushes you like back away from where everyone is. You kind of land over by where the ray gun is. And you notice that there's a bar on the side of the ray gun, and it's at 100%. The ray gun is ready to be fired. And Merlin is in the thing, barking at something. But if he notices, it might be too late. He turns around again, Merlin, and actually, no, I think he's distracted. I'm just gonna allow it. What do you guys want to do next?
Oh, wait.
You can do something.
You said there's a control box also by the railgun, or by the ray gun.
There's an area like a seat, yeah, which looks like it would fit a horrible little dog.
Can a big cat sit in that?
I would say so. Do you
Okay.
like Bosco size, like Brotato's dog?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think you're about the same size as the evil dog that's sitting in Metal Gear Rex from 1998's Metal Gear Solid.
I'd love to sit down and start mashing buttons, hoping that I can shoot Merlin with it.
Pushed by Konami.
It's like giant. It's like a Death Star. Like, it's not really a thing that it can probably turn around. It's just aimed. You know what I mean?
The Earth.
At the Earth. It's like a giant, like, observatory.
His railgun wasn't an anti-magic gun on the Rex.
He has like a tiny miniaturized version,
Yeah,
but that's still really
I just got
big.
confused on the same thing.
Then there's like
but
a
yeah.
giant version of it. He's got a rail gun, not a ray gun. That's the only difference, and they still sound the same. And it was like 1 minute before we started that I realized that, and it was too late.
I'll still mash buttons, hoping that I can turn it away from Earth.
Okay, so you do that. Percival, Snugs, Scout, what are you guys doing?
I am still distracting Merlin.
Okay, yeah. Scout?
I'm gonna start sneaking around the room and look for any sockets that I can shoot some energy into and try and make the power go out in the room.
Okay.
The
Percival?
laser.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk right in front of Metal Gear Rex.
Are you trying to Grey Fox right now? Because I can't do it as much as I want to.
Merlin.
Okay. So. Cunning check.
I'm
on a
so here for
difficulty.
this. I'm sorry.
On a difficulty of 5 from Mr. Fairclaws. A cute check on a difficulty of 2 from Percival. And a fierce check. Because he's so cute. He's a little kitty with a little katana on his back. And even with a cute, like a gruff voice, he's still adorable. He doesn't get to do anything but a cute check, and also we haven't made one. Fierce checks from Scout and Snugs on a difficulty of 4, please.
Love to eat a kitty treat. Because there's no way I'm smart enough to do that.
All right, yeah, you can kitty treat this. Okay, so Percival, success. Snugs, success but. And Scout, success but. Scout, you find all the things that you want to do. You bite or overload the thing with your zap, right? You want to overload the system. Yeah. All of the lights in the room break, and there's like basically no light in here. But everything is a cat or a dog, so I can still see. And there's your success but. There is in darkness though. There's like almost no light in here at all. Snugs, you keep distracting Merlin. And Percival, so do you. The Snugs, you're like distracting him and he's like, and then he sees Percival, who says Merlin to him. And he says, "Well, that's my name. What do you want?"
And then
he keeps barking every now and then, like blink.
Do it.
Snugs blinks in. What?
I think I want to go for the eye patch then, because I can't grip up.
All right.
I'm gonna go for the eye patch. I'm just like.
Oh, he's so adorable. Wait, what the hell? And then give me a difficulty 1 fierce check with your powers.
1, 2, go. Success and.
So, first of all, there is a there's like a sudden noise from over where Fairclaws is, like a and something sounds like it starts to power down over by him. And then there's just this enormous anime-like, you know those like Kamehamehas in Dragon Ball that are just unbelievably large, that just goes off. This giant laser hits the front of Metal Gear Rex. The small, frail, old man form of Dog Merlin is hit by this giant laser. And as the darkness fills in the room after the enormous laser hits the front of Rex, there's nothing but a smoldering mess and smoke. You know that like classic smoldering anime smoke thing. And there's just like the Rex is like melted in places. The sensor dish falls off and lands on the ground. The antimatter rifle thing, the big one that you're sat on, Fairclaws, says
powering down,
and then it turns off. The humming from the energy that it was generating is removed. However, what's his name? Percival. Of course, as always, your eye sees something extra, something special. You see in the past by about 2 seconds, as the beam is about to hit Merlin, you see what happens. This huge light launches towards him, and Merlin pulls from a hatch that's next to him this strange device, like a circle, like a sphere, and hits a button on it and says, "Damn you, Kitties. You may have stopped me here and today, but it's not over." Beep. You see him pulled from this world as the hits him, and you hear him say, "There are other worlds than these," as he is sent and transported to a parallel dimension. The
parallel
Waiting.
dimension. Thank you.
Thank you, PB.
You're welcome.
A robotic voice speaks up around all of you and says,
Lord Merlin has abruptly left the site. Self-destruct sequence initiating. 10, 9,
Oh,
8, 7.
And then it keeps doing that over and over again. Every time we cut to one of you doing something, it cuts back to
10.
We gotta go.
9.
We gotta go now.
7, 6, 5.
Back to Earth somehow. Is there another rocket over here?
Can we ride the laser?
Oh,
Wait.
Snugs, give me a cunning check on a difficulty of 5 as you try and figure out whether you can ride the laser to Earth.
Hey man, I'm a fan of closed time loops, okay?
That's a failure. You definitely can.
I think we can ride the laser.
oh well, you've been
But
from
keep
the
your
future.
suits on.
Yeah. You're from the future, so you must know all about laser
You must
riding.
know all about it.
Yeah.
10,
Do.
9, 8, 7, 6.
It's like it never stops counting.
Now, you're not aware of that. It's just plot armor every time we cut away from you guys having a conversation so that there's no way you can be in the explosion.
Is there another, is there a rocket or anything that we can take home?
Yeah, you can ride the laser home. Snugs?
Oh, yeah. Power up the laser.
Future
Oh,
Snug.
how?
And I just start hitting buttons again.
Yeah, all right. Give me a cunning check on a difficulty of 5 again.
Perfect.
10,
Absolutely.
9, 8, 7.
Success butt.
Success, but you power up the laser.
Laser powering on. Anti-magic ray gun ready to fire.
I've got it.
10,
Okay.
9.
So point it directly to the right of the Earth, and we'll just ride the laser home. And when we get there, I'll blink us into the atmosphere.
Okay. Oh,
I know exactly how to do this.
It
I'm
sounds
sure we won't lose our powers by riding a laser that removes powers.
Oh, that's a good
9,
point.
8, 7, 9.
All right,
Maybe we
how
should just deactivate the self-destruct.
I don't know. I think the laser seems pretty like a good idea. What if we knock the laser off the moon?
Start like batting at the control panel.
Yeah. Everyone?
No.
Yeah. No?
No.
Yeah.
Yes, and
I'm lying half dead on the floor.
Okay.
I've been calling for Snugs as she's trying to ride a laser home.
He's lying apparently half dead on the floor because he can't
Oh my
die
God.
no matter how hard he tries.
I teleport over to him.
I used all my power, Snugs.
What?
Don't ride the laser. That's really stupid. Ah!
Percy! I've always loved you, Percy! Please don't leave me! Scout's fucking crying.
He's only half dead. Half of him's still alive.
Percy, no!
Percy.
Wait, didn't he say he had 7 lives?
Percy.
I think that was you.
Percy.
Too many.
With your half dead breath, you see into the future. You see now, as you don't cross over, but something happens in the state that you're in. You can see all possible futures as you become Schrodinger's cat.
Don't we need to put him in a box?
There is a no, we can't. That's the thing. We can't put him in a box. He can't die, no matter how hard he tries. He literally can't die. He's laying there, just kind of slightly injured and fine. And he sees the future where you activate the ray gun, and it creates the world that Merlin was trying to create anyway. You see the version where you try and ride the laser to Earth and blink away, but it doesn't work because she can't blink because she's on the anti-magic ray gun. And you also see a version of this where you can use the remains of Metal Gear Solid's Metal Gear Rex to leave. It actually has inside of it, Robotnik style, a little life vessel thing that you can launch from it to get out. And it was what Merlin was going to use anyway.
An escape pod.
There's an escape pod.
You're welcome.
Got there in the end.
That you can use to escape.
So as Snugs is like holding my dead body
I'm half dead.
and crying.
He's not dead. You can't die. No matter. You cannot. It's horrific,
Are you alive,
really.
or are you dead? No,
Are you letting me talk or what? Can I talk? As this thing is being counted down, she's crying, and a single tear falls on my cheek. There's an escape pod.
What? Where?
There.
I'm glad you're not dead.
I felt really dead for a second.
Oh, maybe you are. I don't know.
I think I just needed moisturizing.
He did. He just needed a bit of cat moisturizer.
Bit of cat tears.
So he points towards like this smoldering wreckage, but you can see that the bottom part of the mech looks like a detachable thing, like a perfect sphere, and there's like a hatch, and it's around the back of Rex, and you'd probably have to walk up into the little hole between the back of his legs and into the perfect sphere. And you all lift off in the escape pod.
10, 9, 8, 7.
You fire away from the thing as suddenly the base is destroyed. The moon itself explodes. And you escape in the escape pod. Percival, with a little bit of moisturizer, you are able to return to just fine. You know, from slightly not fine to fine, and you are all in this. This like escape pod, and you're heading quite comfortably and slowly towards Earth. And what do you guys want to do while you're in here? You're looking around. There's all these weird buttons and things that you can look at. There's lots of like weird, like all of the buttons in it are kind of shaped like dog treat bones. It smells a bit like dog in here. It's not great. But you all fit comfortably inside this thing because cats are liquid and it wouldn't matter how big it was. You'd all fit in there fine. And you can see out of it. There's a like a circular porthole looking thing that you can see Earth, and you guys are heading towards it fine. From behind you can see out of another one that the entire moon explodes, and
the tides have turned.
I think the moon exploding was a little catastrophic.
Yeah.
Who cares? We've saved the future.
It was slowing down our rotation anyway.
I hope that doesn't cause a lot of misery.
We'll see you real soon.
oh god. And there is in here there is a small glass just on one ledge. If anyone would be interested in it.
I'm knocking it over. I'm knocking it over right now.
Yeah, there's a little glass tumbler on the edge of the panel. Yeah, slowly but surely, you begin. Mr. Fairclaws begins to push it, And while like some of you are like grooming yourselves, some of you are like licking your legs, and some of you are like scratching behind the ears, and Mr. Fairclaws is slowly but surely pushing the tumbler towards the edge. He does push the tumbler towards the edge. And when he pushes the tumbler off the edge, you all realize that it was in fact a lever and not a tumbler at all. It's just that Merlin makes things that look very strange. And you are all suddenly transported. The escape pod heading towards Earth disappears and is sent to a parallel universe. a parallel universe. Parallel universe. You appear suddenly, once again, you are in Tablesville. This capsule lands in the ground, pops open, and all four of you jump out, walking down a torn, destroyed street with fire and smoke everywhere. There is a giant mecha dog. It looks down towards the capsule, and its eyes flash. Its ears lift upwards, and it goes. An enormous concussive wave launches towards you. Inside the thing, Merlin at the controls says, "I knew you'd follow me here. Rematch, kiddies."
Here we go again.
Oh, we're gonna be doing this forever.
And
I'll try.
the four of you head towards Mecha Dog in Parallel Universe. Join us next week for Magical Kitties Save the Day again. And I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We just keep endlessly looping it in different parallel universes. But not really. That was a joke. Thank you for joining us for Magical Kitties Save the Day by Atlas Games. If you would like to play Magical Kitties Save the Day by Atlas Games, you can. You can go ahead and back their Kickstarter and grab a copy of it. And when it comes out, you can run exactly this campaign if you want, because I ripped it off mostly from Metal Gear Solid and Terminator.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I also just watched Dark, and that really helped. So, thank you so much for watching, everyone. It's been quite the interesting adventure indeed. Quite the interesting adventure indeed. And we'll do a little round of shout outs here. Thank you, PB and Peachy, for joining me every week for this. And yeah, being subjected to the psychosis that is my version of Magical Kitties Save the Day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it in the chat. Dan, Saggy, thanks for joining us this week as our honored and special guests.
That's not her name, by the way.
Yes, it is. And if you would like to go and call her Saggy in the chat of her chat room, where can they
cost you $9.99?
Where can they find you? Where can they find you on Twitch? And what do you do?
Twitch.tv/Sagittari. I'm usually a creative streamer, and sometimes pixel art, indie games. So, but usually creative. So you can find me there, or you can just see my art on Instagram.
Nice.
Posted.
At Instagram.
At
Same.
Instagram.
Same.
Same
Saggy.
handle. With two eyes. With two
That's what I
eyes.
thought. Yeah. Okay.
Some
Saggy with
person that
two
never
eyes.
posts anything has my real name.
Damn.
Her
Next
birth
time.
name was Saggy.
My real name was Saggy
All
I came
alone.
out and they're like, wow, this baby's real saggy.
Oh man.
Oh god, that's a bad. I'm sorry.
All right. Before we
Horrible imagery.
all right, before we go any further along that line of thought, let's move on to
so sorry.
Domestic Dan. Where can people find you in the week and things and stuff? And what are you doing
Hey.
there?
Yeah, you can find me at Domestic Dan on Twitch and everywhere. I was not a floppy baby, but nor was I deflated Dan. But I do cooking streams. I do a lot of gaming streams. I've been absorbed into Dragon Quest most recently. I still have to make food today. I have no idea. There's a real hard temptation to just say fuck it.
Oh my god, we made it all the way. All the way.
All
2
the way.
hours and
Listen,
54 minutes we made it.
The Zoom chat said, "This is supposed to be family friendly, Dan." After I made a sex joke.
Oh,
and then
God.
later,
We
know it's
Stop him.
fine.
Stop. No more. You are cut off. I'm cutting you off there. If you want to go and see him, he's at Domestic Dan. It is not family friendly over there, clearly.
I am not.
We were this close to greatness. All right. Well, someone who is very family friendly.
Depleted, Dan.
Peachy Pixelate, where can people find you in the week?
You can find me on twitch.tv/Peachy Pixelate. I do Warframe, I do motorsport games, I do Elite Dangerous, and a lot of roleplay. So just follow me on twitch.tv, and I will constantly tell you where I'm roleplaying because I cannot shut up about it.
Correct. It will not, no matter how hard we try. Shut up.
And they do try very hard. They try.
We try. It never works. All right. Well, what about you, PB? Where can people find you and what's going on?
You guys can find me here all the time.
All the time.
All the time. On Wednesdays, I GM another campaign brought to you by Atlas Games. Completely different. Nocturne. We're using the Unknown Armies system.
Correct.
It's great. Yes. And then I'm here Fridays. My brain, it's gone. I'm here Fridays for Simulacrum, Mondays for ZBO, and that's it.
Yeah, you are here an awful lot. It's a shame. Well, I'm not here as much.
Whoa.
Good night, everyone.
Dan's already like destroyed the wall that I was holding up. So now I don't need to. So I can just be, pure evil again.
Just cut it before the shout out.
If you want to see a lawful evil streamer, you could tune into Pumpkinberry's stream if you want. But
you can do that at tablestory.tv/Karen.
Yeah. You can. That
I'm
works.
not kidding. It works.
And I will also be running another set of one-shots starting next week at the same time. And it will be the human side of Tablesville's super-powered adventure. Will I really? We don't know now. I've said it. Or was it a lie? Remember the first thing I told you in this stream? We don't know. Do I know? Definitely not. Should you believe me? Maybe. We'll see you next week. Possibly. I don't know. At this point, I genuinely don't. Remember, if you want to see Magical Kitties save the day, and this isn't a lie, or was that a lie? It's not. You can head over to Atlas Games Kickstarter.
Tablestory.tv/Magical Kitties.
Yeah, I do genuinely recommend you play it with noobs or younger players. I feel like you could probably play this if you're about 6. Yeah. If there's somebody, I know kids. I've got.
I know kids.
Yeah,
Is
I've got 3 of my own.
Okay, yeah.
I think he's insulting us right now.
And
so
I spend a lot of time with them throughout the week on Tablestory.
Yeah.
So,
there it is.
100%, I'm telling you, a 6-year-old could play this game and up. So if you want a game to play with your family, I think it's a good one. If you've got kids or, whatever, you just want to hang out with your friends and dress up like cats and mess around, then this is a good one. Thanks again to Atlas Games.
Yes.
For providing us with this wonderful content. And thanks again to my players and everybody that watched. This is the very end. Or is it? That might be a lie. It is. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next week at the same time. Magical Kitties save the day again. Bye.
Bye.
That last one was a lie. See you.
End the stream.
Or was it? We just know. Thanks for watching.